Welcome to our YouTube channel OLW One Line Watch. This is Rohith. Today we are discussing about natural selection. Before going to the topic natural selection, we have to know about what is a selection and what is natural. And before going to the topic, we have to know about natural selection and what is the natural selection and what is an industrial melanism. The natural selection is different from an industrial melanism. What is industrial melanism? The cities which are having in the industrial areas is called an industrial melanism. In this natural selection, we are having industrial melanism. In the industrial melanism was discussed in the older 1850s by the Charles Robert Darwin proposed the origin of species. But we are learning natural selection and industrial melanism. Because of this experiment, we learn about how the survival of the fittest and how the survival of the animals and how the survival of the existence to be started and how to be survived in the environment. Here in the natural selection, we are having two peppered moth. The peppered moth Biston betularia is a best example of natural selection and industrial melanism. Peppered moth Biston betularia means here the two moths are present. One is black moth and one is grey moth. Here in the two moths are present. In the peppered moth Biston betularia, two moths are present. One is grey moth and another one is black moth. In the black moths were when prior to the industrial revolution, the black moths were abundant and the grey moths were less. Due to the industrial revolution, the black moths were very abundant and very high in the cities of major industrial areas. Due to the industrial revolution, the black moths were very high in the position and the grey moths were very low. Here see, black moths were very more, and the two cities then in the two cities industrial melanism was observed in the two cities called Birmingham cities. Then see, the biologists propose the peppered moth Biston betularia as in that industrial cities the soot were released due to the burning of coal. Due to the burning of coal, the more soot was released from this industrial areas. On that areas, one of the scientists Bernard Kettlewell proposed, he is a British ecologist, and Bernard Kettlewell proposed the industrial melanism and what are the revolutionary changes expected in the industries and the cities which are present near the Birmingham and the cities Dorset. Here see, here he offered the natural selection and the positive selection. What is meant by positive selection? The nature which we are exhibiting and executing the same two types of moths are presented in the areas Birmingham and the Dorset. In this Bernard Kettlewell experiment, he is a British ecologist and he collected the two moths. One is a black moth and next one is a grey moth. As we discussed so far in the starting, one is black moth and another one is the grey moth. And he selected two cities. One city is Birmingham and another city is a Dorset. He collected two moths. One is black and another one is grey moths. He selected black moths in one city and he took and gathered other moths in the another city called Dorset. Here in the city Birmingham, it is a populated urban area. In the Birmingham, it is a populated urban area. He released a black moths called peppered black moths, and in the unpopulated rural areas called Dorset, he released a grey moths. In these two industrial areas, he released two types of moths. In the Birmingham, black moths, and in the Dorset, grey moths. In these two, and he again recaptured the two moths called black and grey moths After his hypothesis, the black moths were abundant, and for the survival of fittest, in the Dorset, the unpopulated area, the grey moths were low. Because of due to the prior distribution and the industrial revolution were very abundant due to the black moths and low to the grey moths. Here see, this explains the differential survival of the moths due to the survival of the fittest. Here in this whole natural selection, the moths will select and they were very dominant to one and each other. As in the same way, every animal and every organism can be existed one to the another and each to the another survival to the any more of the species. And in this natural selection also is also known as the industrial melanism. In this industrial melanism, it was late 1850s. At the time of 18th century or 1850s, this industrial melanism was proposed by the biologists and the British ecologist called Bernard Kettlewell has proposed the two moths, black and grey moths. At the time of industrial revolution, the black moths were very high and abundant and the grey moths were very low. Prior to the distribution and prior to the industrial revolution and the cities called as Birmingham and Dorset, the black and grey moths were released into that areas. A Birmingham called as polluted urban area and grey moths called as a city Dorset unpopulated rural areas. In that two areas he collected and recaptured that same moths, but when seeing to that last prior to the releasing of moths, the grey moths were very low, and because of the survival of the moths due to burning of the soot and coal, the various chemicals was released from the harmful chemicals were released from the industries. The black moths were adopted, and due to the lichens also exhibited to the barkening of the trees also very becoming soot. And at the last of the industrial melanism, he hypothesized a topic industrial melanism called melanic forms are very developed in the cities Birmingham as well as and in the Dorset. Here see, this explains the differential survival of the moths of the natural selection. This occurs mainly in the natural selection. By this experiment we know that survival of the fittest and how the black moths and grey moths has a differentiation and how to be differentiated one to the another and how they are surviving for the existence. Thank you.